In today's Whiteboard Leadership moment, I want to talk to you about building a high-performance team. Early on in my ministry, I met a gentleman named Pat McMillan who talked about the characteristics of a high-performance team, and I just love what he said and tried to learn from him. And he drew this chart, and I just want to thank Mr. McMillan for this opportunity to talk about this. What we have is this tension between the willingness of people to be a team and their skill and cooperation in forming a team. And so you have this low willingness and high willingness. You have this low skill and this high skill. And he talked about how important it is to move in the direction of the top right corner. Typically, when you have a group of people who are together, they have low willingness and low skill and cooperation. What you have is an unruly mob. And even when you have people who are very willing, but they have little skill, it's a confused crowd. And on the opposite side, when you have very low willingness but high skill, then you've got warring factions. They're all going to fight for their own territory. They're going to fight for their own stuff. You're going to have siloed ministry, siloed teams, people championing their area of ministry more than the church as a whole. And that's just a very, very difficult place to be. As you move along, you can have a basic group where you're okay at skill and you're okay at willingness, or maybe you're really high at skill but you're only mediocre at willingness. Then you're going to have a bunch of individual stars, very much like the warring factions. Whereas these people are going to fight over who gets the budget. The individual stars, they won't fight over the budget, but they will fight for their area of ministry being important. What you want to move is from this place, this direction, where you go from a basic group and you grow in willingness. That the willingness to actually engage with each other is really important. Creating relationship, creating trust, creating environments where they're sharing their ministry skills, they're sharing their ministry successes and disappointments. There's a vulnerability, there's a celebration. All those things that are necessary to create culture are there. And over time, there's skill and cooperation. You want to train this, and you want to challenge this. Challenge their willingness. Drive them toward each other. Help them to pray for each other, love each other, celebrate with each other, and then give them skills on how to work together and give them structures as well. They become a learning team, and eventually they become a high-performance team. Mr. McMillan talked about 6 essentials of a high-performance team. The first was a common purpose, that we all agree that we're going the same direction and trying to accomplish the same things. And second was a crystal clear goal, or goals that we were all working on together to accomplish that mission, to accomplish that purpose. Third is accepted leadership. That we accept one another, we accept those who are above us, and we humbly serve them and humbly serve the total purpose. And then there's effective processes that we have, that all of us use, that are consistent across ministries, so we don't create these individual silos in the life of ministry. And solid relationships, making sure there's trust, making sure there's communication, making sure there's recognition, making sure there's encouragement in those things. And finally, excellent communication, to make sure all the individuals are communicating well with each other. When these 6 things are in place, you have a willingness and a skill and cooperation, you're on the road to develop a high-performance team. This has been a Converge Whiteboard Leadership Moment. To learn more about Converge or to join us, check out converge.org.